What's up, everybody? Welcome to Beastman Takes On, where I dive into new games, share my first thoughts, and give you an honest idea of what to expect. The game I'll be talking about today is Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, which caught my attention for a few reasons. The Oblivion remaster/remake just came out, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk about it. It's a dark fantasy RPG with Oblivion and Skyrim vibes, but with a much darker, grim, bleak, and gritty tone. Basically, just think if the Daedra actually took over the land and how it would look. The trailer showed off a cursed world with bonfire mechanics, creepy NPCs, and that gritty, grim storytelling I usually fall for. I just love a dark twist on a fantasy story that seems happy and hopeful when turning into something completely opposite. So when I saw the demo drop for consoles, I had to immediately jump in and see what this game was all about. Now, keep in mind, I played the PS5 demo version, which only covers a closed environment section of the game where you're in a prison or asylum trying to explore and escape the island. There's no open world here, it's just a slice of what the game has to offer. PC players, however, had access to a broader early version, but on console, we're just getting a much more focused and closed off experience. Also, interesting detail, this game is actually based on a board game, which I found out when I tried searching for a physical copy online, and it came up empty. So, no box version on Amazon, at least not yet. Story. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon is a cursed, reimagined take on Arthurian legend. It takes place hundreds of years after King Arthur's death on the Isle of Avalon, a devastating plague called the Red Death, along with the spreading force of corruption known as the Weirdness. Merlin's only hope has been carving out safe paths through the chaos, but even those are falling apart. The game drops you into the role of a prisoner, thrust into a decaying world where hope is barely hanging on. The so-called healers and priests trying to stop the Red Death don't seem heroic either. They do what they have to, and that usually means making things worse for everyone else. That may involve some torture. That's at least the gist of what I got from the story, but there's a lot more to it. Gameplay. Combat is fully first person, and it's slow, heavy, and deliberate. Think early Elder Scrolls with a grim tone and a hint of Dark Souls elements. You're not slicing through enemies with finesse. You're surviving while managing your stamina and magic resources. The enemies can hit hard, so make sure to be resourceful and find potions or food laying around to keep you healed. The game uses a bonfire style system, just like Dark Souls, except you can place a flame in a safe area to level up, which adds both tension and flexibility. There's also cooking, crafting, lockpicking similar to Skyrim. It may even look just like Skyrim's lockpicking, with a hint of pickpocketing, which you can't do at the moment, and some alchemy stations, but nothing really revolutionary, but solid additions to a survival-focused RPG formula. It all feeds into that slow burn, grim atmosphere. Comparisons. It definitely echoes Oblivion in pacing and has Skyrim's fantasy grit, especially in snowy zones teased in trailers. You'll also level up skills like sneaking, armor use, athletics, and weapon handling, just like classic Elder Scrolls. The game feels like it wants to pull you into discomfort, and there's also a sprinkle of Souls-like energy in how it handles leveling up your base stats and resting. The stamina resource management can feel like a Souls-style game when using your weapons, as it can feel slow. Not gameplay difficulty, but tone-wise, it's heavy. Character creation and stats. You start with the custom character creator, which is always a win. Then the game moves into a prison scene where a guard asks you questions, and based on your answers, your initial stats are assigned. It's a classic creative way to kick off your build without picking from the usual class system. But you're not locked in. Your attributes, skill trees, and base stats can still be customized as you level up. Likes and dislikes. What I liked about it: dark Arthurian twist, hopeless, brainwashed prisoners that think they're getting the best cure for them, freedom to play your way, which is always a plus, choice-driven dialogue that can have some impactful weighing decisions on the story, and combat that feels similar but heavy. What I did not like: no option to switch between quality and performance mode yet. There's no really any incentive for going stealth. The demo was a bit too short, so I wasn't able to explore the actual world of Avalon, just like the PC players. Final thoughts. So, what did I think of the demo? I actually really enjoyed it because of the dark tone. But it's not perfect. I wish I could have explored more beyond the prison, island, and the combat is slow, but it does not really take long to adapt to it. Some areas are a bit too dark visually in terms of brightness and contrast, but the mood, the world building, the tension, I was really interested in it, so it pulled me in. So, what about the game? The full game? Yes. But I would wait for a physical edition, even though it's made by an indie game company. Especially if the full version expands on the world and it opens up more to explore more of that dark tone. I'm keeping my eye on this game as the devs get closer to the full release later this year, which actually, update, it comes out on May 23rd. Well, that's it for Beastman Takes On. This demo gave me a small taste of what Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon is aiming for, but what I saw, moody, methodical, and messed up in the ways that I like, in all the best ways. I'll be watching when this one drops. Till next time, stay sharp, stay cursed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.